Hey everyone, I hope you guys are enjoying Monster Hunter Rise or Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak in whichever platform you're choosing to play it on. Today we're going to be going over the fact that Capcom kind of surprised everyone by going ahead and dropping as part of the latest set of event quests a brand new weapon that essentially becomes meta for your buddies, whether it is your Palico and your Palamute, if you just so happen to have set up either your Palico or your Palamute to do status damage. So essentially, if you still don't necessarily know how to get your hands on any sort of event quest or downloadable item packs, all you need to do is make your way down to the Steelworks or Elgato, speak to the courier cat, go all the way down to the add-ons options and claim anything that's labeled in white, whether it is brand new event quests, downloadable item packs, any DLC you might have purchased, or anything along those lines. Within all of that content that you haven't necessarily picked up, if you haven't done so already, one of those quests will be a hunting type quest called Buddy Dress Up Party. That is a Master Rank 5-star quest versus an Espinas and a Camelios in the Shrine Ruins. Now, the reason why this quest is very important is because if you're setting up your Palico or your Palamute to do paralyzing status damage with KO, hammers, pretty much most likely the only weapon you want to be using for paralyzing, whether it is endgame or not, then this is certainly a quest you want to be paying attention to, because not only are your Palamute and Palicos going to get some pretty much brand new armor sets that are not been available in the game before, which is kind of a big surprise, the fact that we actually got an event quest with actual armor instead of just layered armor options, which is what we usually end up getting. But this time around, your Palicos and Palamutes actually get stats with their armor, which we're going to be going over in a second. But more importantly, you're going to be able to craft a knockout blunt weapon that has paralyzing status boosted, more powerful than the kits you had available before. So this is most likely going to be the now de facto paralyzing blunt weapons if you're focusing on meta with a paralyzed setup. Now, as far as the quest is concerned, both in the Espinas and the Camelios will be found in the Shrine Ruins. You can take down whichever one you want. Most people, I've noticed, will go down for the Espinas. There is a Lunagaron kind of like pouncing about from the quest that I saw. I don't know if he's locked to that quest. Maybe other monsters will end up appearing. But I had to do the quest 3 separate times, and both of the times I noticed it was a Lunagaron. I forget what was the other monster that appeared in the quest itself, but usually it was a Lunagaron. So I would probably suggest you guys pick up a squirrel, kind of drag it onto one of the 2 monsters, and then start do some extra mounted damage. KO, mount the other one, take it to the other monster, get that extra free damage. Now, as far as each one of the monsters are concerned, Espinas doesn't really have anything special. No higher damage, no resistances, no extra health. Same thing for Camelios. So because neither of these are anomaly investigation versions of themselves, they are going to go down relatively fast. They are not really going to stay up for too long, especially if you're doing like mounted damage. Most pickup groups, most random pucks should be able to handle this set of monsters with ease. Espinas, it's not really that much of a danger at the end of the day. Camelios can still kind of get you if he does the kind of like poison spit directly forward. That thing can hurt, do probably 70% of your health. If you're not really only fully healed up, chances are you're going to be able to get killed by that thing. But other than that, it's not really that much of a danger. Now, as you make your way finishing the quest, one of the things you do want to keep your eyes peeled for is, of course, the quest bonus rewards tab. This is the 3rd row from top to bottom, and you are looking for a rarity 9 item, a question mark item that says small flower pot. It says a flower pot with a cute red, white, and yellow flowers in it, used to craft buddy equipment. Now, the thing here is that, of course, it's all RNG based. For me personally, I got 2, 2, and 1, or 2, 2, and 2. So maybe it's just locked to 2, but I had to end up doing the quest 3 times nonetheless. Maybe you have better RNG. it is what it is. Now, you're going to end up needing, I believe, 5 of these if you want to craft the armor, and another 5 if you want to craft just the layered option version of this armor. So, you know, you can certainly decide which way you want to go about it, but I would actually suggest you guys check out the actual armor, since it does have stats. This is something that you're going to want to certainly get your hands on for both your Palicos and Palamutes if you're focusing on blunt damage with paralyzed bonus, which has been meta for quite a while, unless you actually change to double kunais and you are now doing elemental damage. Then therefore that should be your new focus. Now, the Palamute version of the weapon is a 240 attack, so it's about 15 higher attack than the previous one, and 15 paralysis, which I believe the previous one was 12 or 10. So certainly you have more power bonus there. Now, as far as the armors are concerned, you're looking at minus fire resistance, minus water resistance, plus thunder, plus ice, neutral on dragon. 200 defense, I believe, for the headpiece, 200 for the rest of the body. Same with the resistances, -3, -2, +3, and +3. So for your Palamute, you're not really going to get plus or 10 minuses on either one of the resistance. However, the defense is not the highest one. So probably not focusing too much on, you know, the actual armor itself, but focusing a little bit more on the weapon will be the best way to go about it. Now, when it comes to the Palico, you're looking at 240 attack, whether it's melee or ranged, and 15% paralysis. So again, same boost that you have across the board with the Palamute weapon. This time is called F Fairy Staff, I believe, and you're going to be needing some Chameleos pieces to be able to craft it. Whereas the armor, again, 200 defense, -3 fire, -3 water, +3 thunder, +3 ice, and 0 dragon. So ultimately you get -6 fire, -4 water, +6 thunder, +6 ice, and neutral on dragon. So is the armor the best one for either your Palico or your Palamute? Probably not. You're going to be able to get other better armors from other monsters, but the weapon itself is now going to become the meta status paralyzing weapon, because it does blunt damage, so you certainly need that with KO, which is most likely something you're already focusing on your status armor setup for your Palico and or Palamute. And at the same time, of course, you now have, you know, higher damage and higher status bonuses. So does the weapon really match most of the armor pieces you're going to have for your Palico or Palamute? Chances are that's not going to be the case. You can layer it up to some degree, the rest of the armor, but of course weapons cannot be. So it is what it is, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. If you're using Palamute kunais, which I have made a video in the past, how that's the new meta for at the very least for the Force Free title update. If you want to, you know, try that out, certainly, you know, I think if you're willing to change around elemental weapons for whatever monster you're about to fight, it's certainly the best way to go. When it comes to Palicos, I do still think that status para is probably the best option you have, but it really is a little bit of a toss-up there. Sleep is always good if you're using a Palico. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.